Hello everyone, this is the V-Man and welcome. So new week, new plans, hopes are high and I'm expecting good result out of this week's races. We have some interesting tracks. Fuji International Speedway short version is on a daily race A with N200 cars. On a daily race B we have Lago Maggiore with Group 3 cars. This is a fictional track I think, but the guys from Polyphony Digital are absolute masters in making a good racing track. And this one is not much different. It is very good and very fun to drive on. And on a daily race C we have Autopolis with Group 2 cars. So in today's video I will race in a daily race B on a Lago Maggiore. So as always I had 15 to 20 laps of practice, and after a few laps only into the practice I started to feel really good, confident. Car was listening to me, everything was going smoothly and I was improving my time almost every lap. So after those 15 to 20 laps, I managed to set a lap time of 1:57.3 and I entered my first race for today. I am using, as you can see or hear, Grande Macchina Audi R8 once again. I have got used to this car very much, so this is why I'm using it. So first race I was starting from a second place. First position went to a Belgian guy and third to a German guy. And before I entered the race, and because I was feeling confident, I decided to be a little more aggressive today, if circumstances on the track allow that, of course. So as we were starting this race, I wasn't coming any closer to this Belgian guy, so nothing special was happening, and this race was ending on the same position from which I was starting. Sorry. So not the most interesting race in the world, but still I was making some good points, and that is why are we here, of course. So I started this racing with 35,500 points, and after this racing I was able to improve them, and I finished with 38,500 points. So finally I was improving my driver rating, and finally I am having a feeling that I'm doing something right in this game. Because I mentioned in my previous video, I felt like I was going one step forward and two steps backward after every single racing day. But today situation have changed, and these 38,500 points are the biggest points I've had so far, so that's the good thing. So next to the next race, and this race was somewhat a little bit more interesting. I still had a pace just like in the previous race. I had a consistency with which I'm very satisfied. So I was hoping that I can maybe present a little bit bigger threat to a Belgian guy who is once again in front of me. So first three positions are the same as they was in the previous race. So Belgian guy, myself and a German guy, Falchetta, behind me. We are at the same starting position as in previous race. So race starts. This first corner we can do it with just a half braking. I was having a problem with this corner. I was always going sideways, drifting, spinning out, sliding. So it takes time to master this corner, and it's a very grateful corner. Once you do that, you can gain a lot of time in that corner. So driving behind a Belgian guy, of course we are using slipstream at this moment, trying to get close to him and to maybe launch attack. That would be the nice thing to do, because attacking is something I am lacking in my videos, and I will try to do that so the races can be a little bit more interesting. So here I was coming really close, but I had to lift off a bit because there's a reference point right there with this yellow AstroTurf when I need to start to turn into the left. So I wasn't seeing that yellow AstroTurf, and I decided to lift off so I can not crash and die into the next corner. So I made a little mistake here, small mistake. I went wide, and of course Falchetta from behind was coming really close. Here I was starting drifting because I braked too much and I disturbed a balance of my car, and the car went sideways. But luckily I didn't spun out and I lost only one position. So German guy Falchetta in front of me was obviously pushing. He was looking for a win probably. So The end of the second lap, he was really close. At this point, nothing special was happening. I was following him, so we will skip to the end of the second lap, where Falchetta was really close to the Belgian guy. They were obviously battling at this moment. So on the second lap, few corners until the end, he was on the Belgian guy bumper, but he went too far. He was too close. He had a better exit than Azin here, tried to avoid him and ended up smashing and burning, exiting from a last corner. So when that happened, I naturally was returning to my second place, but Falchetta taught us two lessons. First is not to push too hard, but if you do, wait for your chance. Don't go head first through a brick wall. And second, when you crash because of your own fault, don't rage quit and just drive to the end of the race, which was exactly what he did. So for some reason, after German guy crashed, I started to catch up with the Belgian guy. He was probably still feeling a pressure from a German, but quickly after I started to catch up with him, he managed to once again establish a good pace, so he started to get away. I had a decent pace, but it just wasn't good enough to become a problem for Azin. Nothing special was happening after Falchetta crashed, except I was, as I said, getting a little close to a Belgian guy, but that either didn't last long. This race also was ending in the same positions we started from. So as I said, these two races were not the most interesting races in the world, but I admit I was getting better. I was improving my driver rating, so I was happy because of that and because I was one step closer to achieving those goals I'm chasing. Also, I was a little nervous too, because every time I start to improve, somehow I enter few races and then I was having disastrous results and my driver rating was plummeting down again. But I will try to be more careful and hopefully that will not happen again too often. So after these two races, I was practicing some more. I improved my best lap time from 1:57.3 to 1:57. So at that moment, that was pretty much a decent lap time, and I was entering some good lobbies, and I entered our lobby after this race. I had one more race after I set this 1:57 lap time. I had one more race, and surprisingly on that race I was racing against now a YouTube legend. So I was very excited about that, or because of that. I didn't know what to think. I was trying to calm myself down because we don't have a chance to race against the YouTube legend every day. So I will not show you that race because as these previous two races, nothing special was happening. In the first lap I had a few minor mistakes, so a guy who was in front, a guy I'm talking about, was able to make a gap of about 2.5 or 3 seconds, and he maintained that gap to the end of the race. So I wasn't going to show you that race because it was the same like these two races, but just was different in a sense because I raced against a guy who is popular. So after that race I practiced some more and I had a really good lap. I set a time of 1:56.6 and I was really pleased with that time, and I decided to make a lap guide, hoping that it will help someone to maybe improve his time or just to see how I managed to set that lap time. I don't know. Of course it can be done faster, but this was my maximum for the time being. So this race is ending, final lap is at the end. I once again finished on the second place. So we are going straight into the third race, and you will see against whom I was racing and who is that guy I'm talking about, but I think you can guess. So this guy was Super GT. We all know who he is. So as I said, I will not show you this race because nothing special was happening. I just wanted to show you that I was racing against that guy. So I will now show you my lap guide of best lap time. I was able to set 156.6. So it was taken from a replay. So first corner, we are going to brake just after this white line that crosses the track. Here, as I said previously, half brake, going into the corner, lift off, engine, slowing down the car, full throttle exiting the corner, into the next corner early on the right. We are waiting for this curb to end, somewhere before end, brake into the second gear. Here we need to lift off a bit, just to rotate car to the left, apex this corner, full throttle exiting. Now we are going to the next curb, white curb, before ending of the white curb, turn into the left. After that you need to do right turn on your feeling, only on your feeling, because there's no reference point. So this is a yellow AstroTurf, somewhere again before end of the yellow AstroTurf. Brake going into the corner, half brake, half throttle, full throttle, sorry. So next corner we are looking on to our right, start of the yellow AstroTurf here, turn into the left, going over this white curb, try not to go over this sausage curb, and then these two lines are separating, brake here a bit, go deep into the corner over the apex. This can be done very much faster than this, but okay. Brake here a little bit, once again lift off, let the engine slow down the car, full throttle here, and then you are watching for tire marks right here. Start to brake here, also half brake, let the throttle go into the corner, full throttle exiting, once again a short straight. So now we are going over the crest, somewhere between the yellow surface and the end of the curb. You are braking here, lift off a bit just to go into the right corner to rotate, and full throttle once again. Then after the ending of this shadow, start to brake, second, first gear, be very patient on the throttle here. Full throttle, shift up into the second gear, lift off, turn the car, and just full throttle once again, exiting out of this corner. So this was 156.6. I was very satisfied with this time. So that was it for today. I will have to end it like this because it was taken from the replay. I forgot to record it live. So if you like this video, please do subscribe, turn the notifications on. If you would like to watch or to listen some more, I will upload videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. So thanks for watching, see you next time, and the V-Man is out.